Hello students. So today in this video I'm going to explain you the chapter number 9, form and movement in animals. So in this chapter we will learn about that how earthworm, cockroach, snail, snake, fish and birds move and the movement in human beings. Now students, first we are going to discuss about how the earthworm move. So students, earthworm has long, soft body which was divided into several ring-like structures, and those structures are also known as segments. Now students, they move very slowly by shortening and lengthening these segments or rings using their muscles. Also, a slimy substance produced by their body and tiny hair-like structure which were present under their body and that were known as bristles. These bristles also helps in the movement of earthworm. Now students, while moving, the earthworm first lengthens the first end of its body while keeping the rest part of its body fixed on the ground. Now after this, it fixes the front end on the ground and shortens the rear end, pulling it forward. Now by repeating this process, earthworm moves forward. Now students, how the cockroaches move. So like all the insect, cockroaches have three pairs of the leg, which it was used by him by using to walk and run. Now the legs are attached to the muscles that help in movement. Cockroach walks by moving three legs at a time. Now claws present at the tips of the legs allow the cockroach to grip the surface firmly, which helps in climbing the walls. Now students, cockroach also has two pair of wings that allow him to fly short distances. It also bears a pair of antenna and a pair of cerci. And with the help of these, it can smell and feel the things around him. Now students, the next is snail. So how does a snail move? So students, all of you have been seen the snail. It has a soft body which was covered with a protective cell. Now it moves very slowly with the help of the muscular structure present at the base of the snail, which was called foot. Also, it produces a slimy substance which was called mucus, and it helps in the smooth movement. Just because this mucus reduces the friction force between the foot and the surface and thus helping in the movement. Snail moves by creating a wave-like motion along the length of the foot. Now students, the movement in the snakes. So as snakes do not have limbs for the movement, but they have a long body which was covered with the scale. Now students, the snake's body contains strong muscles and a flexible backbone. So it moves by contracting, which means shortening, or relaxing, which means lengthening the muscles which were attached to the bones lengthwise along its body. Now students, the scale present on its body helps it to grip the surface, which means to form the surface. Now students, while moving, the snake curves its body into a series of loops, which means it moves in a zigzag manner. Now each of these loops gives the body a forward push, and this is how the snake moves on the floor. Now students, the next is fish. So fishes have flexible body along with the strong muscles that was attached to the skeleton. Now students, most the fishes have head and tail narrower than the middle portion, which means their middle portion is much curved than the rest of the portion. Now such of the shape of a fish is called streamlined, and this allowed the fish to move through the water easily. Now students, as you can see in the diagram, fins that were attached to the fish body helps a fish to maintain the balance as well as change the direction while swimming. Now the tail that was in the fish helps the fish to push its body forward direction. Now in order to swim, a fish moves its front part of the body to the one side, while at the same time the tail to the opposite side. It then moves the front and the tail ends to the other side. Now, these movements performed by using the muscles, and by repeating this motion, fish moves forward through the water. Now, the next one is movement in the birds. Now, students, as fishes have streamlined bodies, in the similar way, birds also have streamlined body, but it was covered with the feather. Now, their forelimbs, which means front limbs, are modified into wings that help them to fly. Powerful muscles help in moving the wings while flying. Now, students, most of the birds have hollow bone, which makes their body lighter and helps in flying. Now, the hind limbs, which means back limbs, as we have our legs, they use their hind limbs by using it for walking or sitting. Now, students, birds flies by moving their wings up and down or flapping it. Now, students, few of the birds are aquatic birds also, like they used to live in the water, such as duck. So, the aquatic birds have webbed feet, and that feet help them to swim, as you can see in the diagram 9.7. Now, students, the next is movement in human beings. Now, students, human beings moves from one place to another place mainly by walking and sometimes by running also. Now, students, they move in order to pick the objects, push, pull, eat, write, walk, etc., and also to do the other various activities. Now, all such movements of the human beings are usually performed with the help of bones and muscles. Now, students, bones are the harder part of our body. Tissues such as tendons, ligaments hold bones and muscles together. Now, students, our skeleton system. Now, basically, an adult human skeleton consists of 206 bones. These bones are the framework which was called skeleton, and these skeletons give the shape to our body. Now, students, some areas of skeleton have flexible material which was called cartilage. Now, what is the function of a skeleton? What does the skeleton do? So, the first function it helps in the movement. Second one is that it provides the support and gives a shape to our body. And the third one is that it protects the internal sensitive organs such as brain, heart, liver, etc. Now, students, this is it in this video. The rest of the topic of the chapter I will clear in the next part. I hope you get the topics. Thank you.